All right, this is Max 205. What's new, Beelzebub? I'm Nick Herman. I'm a choreographer, and I do the trailer stuff.
I'm John Drake. I'm a content programmer. I did the driving stuff for all the episodes.
Grant Alexander, concept artist. I actually did a crap load of stuff on this episode, so I might actually have something to talk about.
Marco Prezzo, I do choreography and effects. This is one of my scenes right here.
I like the light on everybody.
Yeah, the lighting in this entire environment was tuned to each chore pretty much. Trying to make a big push to really go long lengths with the lighting in our games, because I know we can take it to greater levels.
Yeah, made a big difference this episode, I think. Especially in this environment, it looks great.
Yeah, this was such a dark environment. It just really needed the heavy, warm rims and
Lots of fun little graffiti and little things in the background. That was a lot of fun to do.
Very nice. You work on all the posters too?
Yeah, all the posters.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, I worked with Chuck to come up with gags and try and figure out how to visually get those across.
Come on,
Nice.
we can't just leave Bosco here.
They're all a riot. One of my favorite parts about this is the fact that the portal that they go through at the end of 204, which seemingly goes to anywhere, actually puts them directly below their street.
Yeah.
Spaceship when you saw only one set of footprints, that was when I carried you.
This was some sort of very obscure reference to some story, ancient story of some kind. I didn't understand it, but it was obviously hilarious to some people.
You mean just the overall?
And that was when I carried you, is when there were no footsteps. It says something about mother and child and like.
It's a biblical thing.
Yeah.
This is also a nighttime street environment, which is a big new thing.
Definitely.
Gives a nice feel for this episode, I think.
Yeah, there was a kind of a sunset environment in 106, and felt it was appropriate to carry it over to this episode as well.
Did we ever get flies around the lights?
No, we did not get flies around the lights, sorry. However, I did get fun, crazy lasers and the light beams coming out of
Well,
them.
this is a good trade-off.
You know,
That's new too, isn't
gotta
it?
pick and
That
choose your
little-
battles.
Little,
Marquee.
That's cool.
John coming back to life?
Nah, he's brain dead. We're turning him into a fantastic laser light show.
Oh, that's awesome. I never saw
Shooting the
that.
gun off.
That's awesome.
Over that kind of crap.
What is Tiny Tim
Jimmy's
thinking
whole
of me
family
friendly
is just
casino?
rampant
He said,
swears.
it's the most beautiful thing I ever saw.
Out of the foul mouths of babes.
And once this place takes off, I can finally afford to get a cure for his terminal Tourette syndrome. Problem is, Morty Pipewalker's the only one of us with an electrical engineering degree. And he ain't been right in the head ever since he drank that drain cleaner. What we need is a computer. Ooh, what's that?
Oh, and items pulled across from episodes.
That's always fun.
Thanks, Sam.
It's a big feature to include in
This
here.
will be perfect.
Even if we're just kind of faking it.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
All the things you get from driving are all
Yeah?
more or less.
Yeah, they go across. That was always cool.
Evacuate! Evacuate!
Who did this sequence?
I don't know. I think it was Daniel.
Daniel. It must have been Daniel.
Yeah.
I think the Daniel had the street on this one.
That's
'cause
so
it's such a huge
cool.
environment. Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Swan
awesome.
dive.
Tiny Timmy! So cold.
Hello, for emergency medical service, press or say 1 now.
Just save my boy! Hang on, Timmy! Live, damn it! Live!
Well, if that doesn't help us get into hell, nothing will. Let me!
There'll be snow flurries in hell before I let you have control of a 2-story tall battle robot, Max.
Foreshadowing.
What? Does he control the robot though?
Yeah.
What? Really?
You didn't.
When?
Right here.
What?
Yeah, he's got a remote control and he controls a robot.
No, Max though. Max doesn't control a robot.
Max
Oh no, he doesn't get it.
That's what I thought. No.
Things we're not proud of.
Wicked things.
Shut up, Max. Zombie Abraham Lincoln didn't want his.
Oh, good. Put your token in the machine.
His
and call
nose.
the train.
And that would be the lovable candy jar from the first season that went missing after the destruction of the street. Oh, and the Soul Train reference.
Soul Train.
Next stop, we going straight to hell, baby.
Always loved Jake's intro sequence. Just so action-packed.
Yeah.
Do you always sing along with the theme song?
It's I don't know, it's a thing I do. I mean, you've heard it so many times, and it's catchy. It's a Jared Emerson Johnson tune.
Yeah, he writes great stuff, so.
He's the king. And I think that this was done by, I want to say me, but it was originally done by someone else. You?
It might have been.
I think it was Brendan. Brendan did this.
Yeah.
Brendan, we were in a giant crunch, and we had the writers, I guess, were taking off some chores from us,
Yeah.
just to help us out a little bit. Yeah. And then I ended up just doing it anyways. But most of the stuff is done by Brendan.
Yeah.
Little stuff is just added by me.
Schedule is full at the moment, but I'll see what
Give us an example of something that you added. Why are you here?
The opening shot to this chore, I think, was done by me. And then a little bit later, I cleaned up some stuff with Satan. But this is an awesome reveal for Satan. I love this.
Jurgen, be a peach and clear out my calendar for... Oh dear. Who authorized this? A giant...
This entire environment was designed by me and Kim.
Really?
And the background outside is actually a matte painting that I painted up. And we also did the frozen over version, which is basically just like a hue shift and a little bit of painting. So it's super fast.
Totally sells though, man.
Yeah.
have a seat and wait if you like.
And then Marco, you added like a little.
There's a little fire river back
Yeah.
there. You gotta look closely.
Which
but
brings
there
it
is.
No, it
to
looks
life
nice.
just a little bit more.
Something,
And they're the posters we love so much.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with those posters, just coming up with silly gags like the milking the udders thing.
Yep.
Envy.
Yeah, I just thought it was absurd and funny. just
And
because
they were so funny they got used for the trailer. So
Elf tears.
Good
Does your
job.
on-the-job training
Quality.
include evil
Sloth is a
licensure?
sloth, of course.
I guess that's a no. Hey, Brady.
this is you, Marco?
Yeah, this is all me. I enjoyed revisiting the old characters. The shambling corporate presence was a nightmare for the transparency issues that he had going on.
Hell, a bad name.
Having an arm on each side of him made things especially difficult.
This is me doing the
This is a really fun environment.
Hall of Records or whatever that is.
What kind
Oh
of
yeah.
place is this?
Did we end up going with behavior in this scene?
Yeah. Well, actually, well, there's a soul balls when you release the soul balls.
Right.
That stuff was put in by me and John. That stuff ended up looking really cool. Got the idols like where they float around, and so each guy you release individually just has his own little thing he does, which is awesome. Looks so cool. It's like a collectible area.
Yeah, there was something of a shift in this episode. In the previous episodes, most of the idol performances for characters were handled by this behavior system that I had worked on. And then we sort of moved away from that in 205, but maybe some of the stuff got kept for this episode, and sounds like it did for the
Keeping the characters moving around it really pays off.
This is all done. This is all my environment.
You did every single one of these.
I did all the dioramas. That's true. It's been a while.
driving.
This is as fast as
Two
it
driving
goes, everybody.
sequences.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Which is another new thing. Although this wasn't exactly the most challenging of them.
Looks
It's
like
pretty
Sam and
easy
Max
to
got
implement.
themselves into another
And this is
thing.
a Chuck Jordan special. He really wanted this, and
Dukes of
went through a
Hazzard.
lot of hell to get it because we were having a lot of problems with that, but we finally made it work.
You mean the Dukes of Hazzard moment there?
Yeah, there was a lot of problems with freezing time and space, and then the load time after it, and it was really funky. But we got it to
I
work.
thought I suggested I was
Oh.
going to Brendan.
Well, I think either you once you said something, I think it really caught on, and it came became a thing that they really pushed for.
It was the perfect moment for Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I like how the street boxes pulled out from the
Right.
so it actually makes it logical.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It goes up.
work things out.
And you put a lot of love and care into how these soul balls move.
I cared. I loved them. They're so fun. They're little dudes.
There's a Chuckles cameo in the background here if you look closely. We decided since he was a villain and he was killed, we definitely know he was killed, that he should be in here in some form or another. So I kind of just did the cubicle, pop up and
he's also
walk
in
to the water cooler.
After you did that, he's in the trailer. If you look really hard, and then he's behind Jared. You composite him in.
Bonus features.
It is
Jolly old
bonus.
elf working hard on his delivery.
He's got a cube in that environment.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
You just can't. You know,
I actually didn't animate him in the cube that he's in. He's
No.
in somebody else's cube for the day.
That's why he's snooping around.
He was checking in some files somebody had checked out, apparently, or something to that effect.
Dangerous toy.
That never happens.
No.
Dangerous toys of my youth. The savage tongue ripper. Lil Patio Fisticuffs, the belligerent drunken leprechaun.
Oh, I remember that one. He really wet himself.
Having to recall toys must be horrible for you.
Nice tie.
Hellish, even.
Oh my no! I love recalling toys. These babies make it impossible to concentrate.
What's the matter with the babies, Chris? Santa loves children.
Why do people always assume that?
I love this take on Santa.
Yeah, I know. It's so cool. It also kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Rules that they're not allowed to see me.
Well, when you put it that way.
How do you think a virile man like me has been married for centuries with no kids? Did you think of that?
I'm trying really hard not to think about that right now or ever again.
Holly jolly eternal damnation.
What did I do to deserve this?
Looks like some kind of vaguely familiar hellish toy factory, Max.
Oh boy, I want to see the
I love working in this scene. It's so fun to look at. It's so interesting. You get so many shots you can do. Yeah.
Jake brought up a really good point that there's this huge expanse in the back of this environment
And we don't
that
use
we
it.
don't use at all, but Brian put it all in there just to have some action going on and make it feel factory-like.
Yeah.
Also, all the cameras in this environment are really, really tight, and because there's so much stuff around them that you can look at, and it's so interesting. I mean, you can have tight cameras and still compose a really nice shot. I love it. It looks so. This environment always feels like most like a movie to me. Just it feels so nice.
Nick loves movies.
I love movies. Ugh.
Losing blood. Guess this is the end of old Rex skirmish.
That you may notice as the pea puddle from 101.
Yes. Also, this burping sequence coming up was this special thing I put love and care into.
Exactly.
This is fun.
And now, exactly how many babies are used in this? 30?
Too many?
Didn't you just do it with 3?
I used 3 just looping over and over.
Yeah.
No, I think it turned. Ugh, and the eyes were done by Jake. Thank you for the eyes.
Quality.
Oh, listen to that.
That's how you know things are dead.
What?
When they have
when they have X's on their eyes? Yeah.
Thank you.
I was one of these guys that glow when they talk. That'd have been cool.
Sorry, Nick.
It's okay.
There's only so much I can do for effect.
This environment, actually, early on, we had talked about having the bookshelves or the other things in the background, kind of like scrolling back behind, kind of like Monsters Inc.
Oh, that would have been cool.
One of the early ideas.
I think the truck back that Nick did when you first enter the environment just shows a great expanse of
Yeah.
You totally get that feeling.
Yeah, no, it came out great.
Yeah.
We're not getting that guy's attention.
I don't know if you can read it in game, but there's some great words on the magnetic word thing on the file cabinet, which actually, this whole environment is a huge reflection of our
office.
in a lot of ways. I mean, not exactly, but you know.
The kitchen, that whole kitchen was.
The kitchen.
I think Kim just looked over and.
Yeah.
And isn't that what happened?
She did,
Yeah, she
actually.
just looked over at our kitchen and started doing stuff.
Did you get that meeting request I sent?
What are your dreams?
People on the forums noticed too.
They did.
Nice.
playtesters noticed too. They came over and they were like, "What? Well, I've seen this. Where have I seen this?"
The largest division of hell, the FCC. Doing what?
Right here in your cubicle?
In front of Satan and everyone?
Can we say...
That little rock with lava in it is actually the paper shredder in hell.
Nice. That's sweet.
Tugger? Yanker? Tool handler?
Also, when we playtested this, I don't think it was bleeped either.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bleeped.
Yeah. And they actually, Max is, or he says a lot of,
Tool Handler, I'd like to speak to really quickly, because Tool Handler actually came out of a series of emails when we were exploring ideas for the name of a choreographer, title. And since it's called The Tool, they wanted to call it Kevin's Tool Handler, which some people objected, but it made for an excellent joke in the game, so.
Which I'm taking to the 9th circle of hell. To the base of milk and pickle juice, just add a
I like Stinky. I like working with her a lot, but the thing that saddens me most is we didn't know she had an angry eyes until this episode, and so this is the first time you get to see her look angry. Besides the little eyebrow smirk or whatever whatever that's called.
When she was originally built, she just had a pretentious and a smirking.
Right.
And
but no, she actually had an angry, but no one ever set it all up.
Are you serious?
Yep.
It was just
hiding, and we didn't know we could make her angry, and but we finally got it in. So
definitely could have used that earlier.
I know. I kept thinking that.
Oh, on this little stretcher.
He ain't got much time left. He's starting to hallucinate, and the Tourette's is getting worse. What's that, St. Peter? Why, yes, I'd love to play.
That's awesome.
Oh, Sam and Max, you're here. I've been dying to tell you. You'll never guess what Abe did during our date last night.
We stopped speculating about that months ago. It was making me lose my appetite.
Sam,
I love how the monster's kind of trapped in this environment as her wedding planner friend who can't escape and
just wants
trapped in verifying
wishes he
decisions.
was
So much planning to do.
still burnt from being
Jilted lover, yeah.
right, yeah.
It's no bother. Enjoying all this quality time with Sybil? Please kill me. Don't judge
I
me
love
for
this puzzle
Max.
just because he asks you to shoot him, and you can.
Bless you.
It's one of the few times that Sam actually gets to kill somebody.
I know.
And
It's
usually has Max do all his dirty work.
well, Flynn kills him, so Sam wants a piece of that action.
Monster. Never handled a monster before. I'll have to figure out how this works exactly.
it's for your own good, kid. It'll make the eulogy more interesting.
What did you do? Give that... Settle down, Kenny. The doctors say if you exert yourself, those stole my...
Oh, it's all pops up.
A simple, straightforward death. Let me just look at his file and we can go straight off to... Hello. Is that really this kid's file?
Harry, please. You can't expect us to do your job for you.
I sworn it was smaller. Kid must have really been busy on his deathbed.
You should have seen it.
It was like every single letter ever written to Hot Bunny combined into one debaucherous rampage.
Oh, well. You can tell me about it on the way to hell, then. Later.
Hiya, Timmy.
Is your soul finally at peace?
No, I'm not at peace, Mr. Max. I'm ecstatic to be on stage with such a genius.
Oh, nice. I didn't see the rainbow go in.
Yeah. A lot of effects in this episode.
Angry eyes.
Did you taste her?
That's also the same Benang pose I used for Max.
And the crouching for...
And Sam, yeah.
And the smells. It's like tea.
Oh, God.
I simply cannot allow this. This show is canceled.
Oh.
Well, that was exciting.
I love that.
Oh, so many rats.
I know. And that is an awesome thing. That little turnaround. I don't even know what that is. I think it's a Sam thing.
I can't remember
And I've been.
Oh man, when he opens his eyes. It's
Oh
scary.
god, it's so gross. And that animation's so goofy. It makes for a weird thing.
We broke hell.
This is why we can't have nice afterlives.
That's great, Nick. We broke hell.
I was
Yeah.
under the
Oh.
impression you were here to increase productivity.
I think it's his victory thing from the Reality 2.0.
This is a big shot, making his hand stick to his chin like that. It's a trick I use on Sam every once in a while. I tried to make Satan really feel like a boss in this one. When he walks up to Brady, he puts his hand on his cubicle kind of uncomfortably, you know?
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of really fun versions of Satan.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be on the DVD.
Yeah, we're gonna have concept art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steve Purcell did a bunch of sketches, but ultimately
Hefner.
they wanted to go in a different direction with him because they wanted to kind of contrast the voice with the look, you know, and the fact that this very imposing figure is trapped in this mundane situation.
Okay.
This was about to have an effect here that was similar to the Big Bang. I've made something in Maya that's
So good.
put it onto a flat in the engine just so we could get a little more cool stuff in
Yeah,
the game.
it really looked awesome.
Oh, sad Max.
In his own personal hell.
And this is Sam and Peepers.
I'm back in the office.
This is a great
This doesn't seem
sequence.
This is
so
fun.
bad. Right, little buddy?
Right, partner.
That was all Jake with
great.
the idea of the Looney Tunes style
Yeah.
opening.
Originally was a full sequence, but then we cut it down, I think, because we didn't have time.
Who had the, oh, we don't get to see any of the walking around in here. Every single time Sam
Oh.
walks around in here.
Yeah, when I set it up so when you
dejected and
double click, he walks like a sad man. So basically, you can't run. It's hell.
Says
sad.
he's
Yes.
I thought that was funny.
What are you? Oh, God!
Also, this is funny. We've got to get rid of Leonard somehow.
Yeah.
There it is. There's your explanation, guys.
Poor Leonard's been sitting in there.
Yes, excellent grouping. Shall we, Motor?
It's cool.
So this is one of the animators' cutscenes.
What the
This is Tim's cutscene, Tim Reardon.
that hell was
We had
practically
the animators as well as the designers in this episode helping out a lot with choreography to fill out the game with animation. A lot of this was done in Maya, but then they took a lot of their animations in Maya, went into the tool, and brought them to life.
Management.
So really good staging, and I stole a lot of ideas from the animators for my scenes. And the reveal.
Nice.
Good old Three Stooges moment right there.
A moment.
I take it you already know my bosses.
Know us? These fools have been essential to our plan.
I love that Peepers face.
Yeah. This is so great. And no one expected this,
Please,
which is great. And the fact that everyone secretly just hates the soda poppers,
Yeah.
that's so great.
Some people
that you
don't
get to.
secretly hate them.
They very
Vocally hate that.
yes.
I love the soda poppers. They're the best people to pick on.
Child stars.
But that was before we beat Brady culture to
Their
death.
slideshow is a big
Yeah, this
deal.
is a great explanation, little backstory thing on them, because you've been there for all those moments.
But just narrowly missed them.
Reality television.
I mean, people have hated the soda poppers since they first saw them,
Yeah.
Yep.
and I think that's why they ended up being the villains in this particular.
Yeah.
What were some of the complaints about them? I don't know
They
why.
just
so
don't
annoying.
like 'em.
Really?
So annoying.
Yeah. If you played 101, you might understand.
Even 102. you just-
I'll play it.
when you see him come back, you go, no.
Severe diarrhea.
And these glasses aren't cheap.
And worst of all,
Love that he votes for you, but you broke his glasses.
sing for it.
Yep.
Wow, who knew the princes of hell would be such whiny little babies?
So you meant to get Santa possessed by a demon.
No, that was a clerical error.
We thought some corporate efficiency would help Satan get his act together. But it seems
I love how the true evil in hell is corporate efficiency.
Right here.
We did mean to kill that elf, though.
What makes you guys think you'll be better at running hell than Satan is?
The old ways are dying. It's time to bring evil into the 21st century.
Our subcontracting and outsourcing of soul capture and processing has increased our efficiency tenfold.
But we still have to convince the shareholders to believe in hell as a relevant player in the afterlife.
Current marketplace realities and underlying economic considerations mean we have to downsize.
Satan, we kept you on
Oh,
staff
poor
for
Satan.
mental reasons, but your performance
Poor
continues
exposition.
to disappoint.
If you'll give me another chance.
Clean out your desk and don't come back.
Oh, never thought I'd feel bad for Satan.
Dejected look.
We've heard quite enough, thank you.
Satan's red chair, actually, it was supposed to be much more elaborate, but we just didn't have enough verts to do it. But it was actually much more torturous looking.
Yeah, I
And
remember
think
saying that stuff.
that sketch will probably be on the DVD, too.
Yeah.
If you look behind Satan's chair, the lava flow painting there,
Yeah.
is, those are various faces from characters from the Bone series.
Oh, yeah.
Wendell and John Oakes.
That was actually something that someone was asking about on
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
the forum.
I don't know whose foot that is, though. Don't ask.
It's mine.
It's your foot.
They modeled my foot just for this.
You have an arch problem.
I know. It's seen a doctor.
Flat foot. Hey, Detective Joe.
Wow. I think unwittingly bringing about the apocalypse is a first for us, little buddy.
Huh? Sorry, I completely zoned out there.
Seriously.
Never mind.
So then I says to Gunther, Gunther! Yes?
You've got to help us get Satan back in
There's a
charge.
good shot of the map painting in the background of that shot there.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
that fossil out
it's
of
like
the way,
a
I'm
bridge
making
over a
lots of
little
promotion
lava
at the
flow
shareholders meeting.
lake.
Wish me luck.
It's also the 203 Get Out of Grave, I think.
Hey, pal,
I
come on
think that's what that
in.
is.
What's going
Yeah.
on? Hell of a bachelor party for Lincoln in here.
Party? I haven't been paying you to party. I spent 40 years tracking down the man who trashed my store, hiring the best private investigator.
And then you can see the sliver of the DeSoto back there, possessed DeSoto, and that was all done by Jake, just to add a little extra, little fun,
You mean
which
you
is
never
nice,
got
I
to
think.
mention that your suspect was my son?
I thought it was obvious. You're the one who's been after me all this time?
It was all just a simple misunderstanding.
So many things tied up in this episode. Bosco's paranoia.
Lifetime of persecution, all just
What's going to happen with Bosco in the future?
You're
Unknown.
not mad, baby.
We all go a little mad sometimes, Mother. Run along to the bunker, and I'll be in later with your dinner.
Oh, my goodness, baby. I don't eat dinner.
Do it!
I haven't seen that stuff. When I saw it, it looked pretty corny. I'm glad it looks better.
Case is wrapped up. I'm off to the party. You coming, Bosco? Party? Oh, hell yeah!
Oh yeah, chest bit.
Chest
We
pound.
rescued Bosco from hell, just as crazy as when we left him.
Maybe even crazier.
Can we borrow some of your stuff, Satan?
Well, I suppose so. I was hoping to sell it on eBay, but I've received no bids.
Oh.
You know, your screen name, Father of
Some
Lies,
fun posters in the
666,
background.
might have something to do with
Yeah.
I don't know if those are readable.
They are in game. When you
Click on them.
you
Okay,
click
yeah.
on them and get cameras for them.
Yeah, Mole Man Musk. It's a nice Calvin Klein-ish poster.
Snack-sized bag of pork rinds. Great taste from the great
Bag of pork rinds. You might recognize that from 201 when they're stuck in the volcano pit.
They don't actually whip them out, though, do they?
No, they don't. But Max asked Sam for some pork rinds.
Yeah. Yes.
You can put them in your MV. They end up.
Yeah, I think you
Here
get
they
them.
do,
Yeah,
but in
yeah.
201, it's the future Sam and Max that
Right.
have them, so you never get
Yeah.
to see them.
How exciting. One sip, and for the first time, you know the difference between good and evil.
I don't know. I've heard some bad things.
Our competitors are just afraid that if you start selling this, you'll become too successful. I don't need to tell you the advantages of an exclusive beverage.
Who's this your environment?
No,
I guess it must be Daniel.
Yeah.
Who else was on the project?
Brendan could have been doing this environment too.
Yeah.
Stinky's baby book.
Good. Quick, read page 33.
Could have been Chet's environment too. They both helped out tremendously.
Yeah.
Might have been.
Out loud, you cretin.
Oh, let's see. Fish sticks, tar, coffee, ice cream. What kind of baby book is this anyway?
It's a cookbook!
The name of the recipe. Read the name.
The Cake of the Damned.
Oof.
Huh? What?
This is so weird.
That'll teach her.
Well, maybe you, good sir, would like to hear more about about the delicious forbidden fruit of knowledge cider?
What have I done?
This is Tim Reardon's environment. He actually got in and did choreography for a whole scene, which actually means he got in there and decided he needed some awesome animations for it. So,
which is always great when you have animators working on in-game, because they see stuff and they go, well, I want that. Well, I'm just gonna go make it.
Exactly.
And we don't have that luxury as us non-animator people.
This is just raw.
Yeah, it's the most disturbing part of the whole game. And it's a great effort went to make Mr. Fat Hilly naked.
You people should be ashamed. It's a living. Roscoe, we freed you from your personal hell. You don't have to be naked anymore.
Oh, that wasn't part of my head. I just like to be naked. And I'm not the only one who should be naked.
Mr. Featherly.
I love Featherly drunk.
Salmon Max.
That's what he's drinking there.
Better not have a cow in there.
Oh, I'll show you who's hiding, cow.
Another celebrity meltdown.
Shut up. You don't know my word.
Tisk, tisk.
Hey, I want to show you something. Pull my wing. Go ahead, pull it. Pull my wing. Oh.
This is so weird.
What? It just keeps going.
Yeah,
I'm curious if that's something from the recording that just kind of was on there. And
yeah,
used.
it probably sounds like just, he was asked to make lewd noises or something.
Well, boys, another round?
Oh, dear.
Oh, my.
Oh, no. I'm naked. I'm naked.
I'm naked! Oh, I thought we were all just...
What have I done? I'm so ashamed.
Here goes my innocence.
I should have known hiring a budget stripper was a bad idea. Cool your heels, Flat Top.
The show's over, but I was just getting started. I knew it. There is no use for me.
Conga line, who's with
Oh my God, the dance.
Sam's just joined a dance.
I am.
Oh.
Do you mind if we perform some quick elective surgery?
Whatever. I'm just
Do you ever find a use for the monster? Like, does he ever find his purpose in life, or is this you just mess him up and leave him?
I don't know. I don't think in this episode we
A
do.
fool and his bones are soon parted.
I got a rib.
Well, I guess he gives you that.
What happened?
Sam turned you back.
Yeah, I want to say it was Chuck that did Stinky's environment.
Look, Mr. Wizard, thanks for taking
I think I remember him asking me some questions about the cake and about when Stinky turns into the cake initially.
Then maybe you.
I believe the two of us have made ourselves clear.
Oh, and it's the odd couple.
Fine then. It's too good for you chumps anyway. And stay gone.
Looks like you two have learned an important lesson about cooperation.
Fine. You going to order something?
God, Stinky looks so good sometimes. Just, I love her colors against that environment.
Input, Grandpa.
Oh, you can't you?
This episode is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely gigantic.
Easy now. You can do this, Sam.
That was like the hardest part of making this episode. Is we had so much to do. We had to recruit everyone to help out.
Shut up, Max. Well, Specs. Just what do you think you're doing here?
I'm going to do what Satan never had the skills to attempt. I'm going to win the soul of a computer. Ha, you talk big now, but wait until you've heard me play.
I think that's Jared playing, right?
I'm willing to bet, yeah.
Yeah, that's Jared
He
playing.
does
that.
play violin, right?
You can do it. Play like you've never played before.
That would also be Jared playing because he also plays keyboard.
Yep.
All the sound and music
Yep.
for games.
Oh, but there's a technicality.
Right. Subclause 48, section 5.
I forgot what song you played to make him win. Is it?
It's the
Is it the
Minesweeper song.
Oh, it's the
Stick
Minesweeper.
cart
Oh,
in there from Minesweeper.
that's right.
That's why there's a gigantic pile of them in the.
See, I never got that
underground
puzzle. I always saw them and I thought that was cool, but I didn't realize you could. I never beat the game because of that puzzle. I just cheated.
Cheater.
I skipped ahead.
You will never prosper.
Apparently.
Make sure you read the license agreement first, Sam. It's very important.
Just start playing.
He's so serious.
Ha! Beat that!
That's awesome.
That's awesome, yeah. Shaw Daniels cuts in.
I think I saw the face of God.
You've got to admit it, Specs.
You just got served like baked ziti at a mafia wedding.
I don't know what that means, but I don't care. You will pay for this, Sam and Max.
Don't be sad.
How do you get the blur on them when they run?
Huh?
I always wanted to ask that. I never did.
That's all the way from 101. Every single time they ran, there was a zip. That was partially there to make things easier on us for moving them around, but also there because it was just an attribute of their character.
Perhaps.
But technically, what did you do?
Yeah, this part's pretty creepy.
Oh, it's just a flat with them blurred.
Oh,
Picture
okay.
it, swap it out.
Oh god.
This is disturbing. This was like a total last minute thing, wasn't
Yeah, this was added very last minute.
it? Oh,
It's so creepy.
Disturbing.
Oh god.
now there's an argument going whether this is the creepiest part of the game or the monster stripping is the creepiest part of the game.
I think this is the way more creepy.
It's hard to say. I don't know.
Evil will reign. You must not disturb the vessel.
Snap out of
Yeah, this is pretty creepy. I think this wins.
I know it is, but I've just never seen him this way before.
Oh, you're gonna be seeing a lot more.
John is thoroughly grossed out.
I'm just disappointed the soda poppers never showed up at the hospital. It was my dying wish to see him, because I'm their biggest fan ever.
No, Timmy, that's wrong.
Max is right. The Poppers are evil, wicked creatures.
And besides, I'm their biggest fan ever.
Ask me anything about them.
What's Peeper's real name?
Easy. Everybody knows his name is.
What was that?
I said his name is.
Max, just
This is a cool
Mr.
puzzle.
Bush for me.
I seem to be completely naked.
Oh dear.
Hope I don't have to bend over provocatively to.
That's enough.
What's Peeper's real name?
Easy. It's Dick Peacock.
Replacing the grocery list with the swear words list causes groceries to be bleeped out.
Just let people know how you want it, baby. Say my name. Say my name.
Hey, Dick Peacock.
What?
You ruined everything.
What have you done to his eyes?
You still want to make out?
Oh, hell no.
That's awesome.
It's great.
Well, we've saved Sybil from a lifetime of regret.
And given ourselves a blackmail opportunity to secure our financial future.
Ooh,
Oh.
fire poos.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice
I love the
effect.
fire
I love that
You've
stuff.
lost, Poppers.
Congrats.
It's time we put an end to this charade.
That and the flaming pea stream was a
Coming
huge
up.
difficult effect to do. All done through my
Assume
fluids.
demon form.
This was Brian Caldwell's scene. He's got some great poses and great animation. He had a very short stint with the company, but did some great stuff while he was here.
Yeah, I haven't seen this stuff.
Yeah.
We spray all the toilet.
This pose is great.
It burns.
Pea. So well done. Oh, flaming
Oh.
Grant, do you want to speak to Specs' wonderful attire?
I think it speaks for itself.
Wasn't there a ball gag on someone at one point? There's some.
There was talk of doing that, but
It was
I don't know how that
hard
would
to
work.
deliver
but,
lines with the ball gag.
out their
apparently.
nose.
No, it's quality. I like the nipple spikes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're a good attribute. I don't necessarily like them much.
You love
you
them.
don't have them at home, right?
No.
Screw-ons.
What? Ouch.
And the camp
This is very Warner Brothers, fantastically done.
By you. Oh, no,
that was all
animated.
Brian.
Right,
this is me right here.
Yeah.
This is all reuse of animations from other episodes and other things. And
Well, Max,
Very creative use of lava.
Thank you. That was an effect done all the way back in 201.
Really?
Yeah. The new effect was for the epilogue of this.
I'm with my best friend.
Of this episode.
That's sweet, little pal.
But this was a big, much like 204, when we go back to Embarrassing Idol from 102, it was very difficult to include old animations into the new animations. It becomes quite a complicated thing to do, and this presented the same type of technical challenge.
Yeah.
Did you actually reuse it, or did you just...
I reused it, but same as you, I almost had to remake the whole cutscene, you know, just to pull out Santa and pull out the other two Salmon Maxes.
Salmon Max Eye.
I stopped paying attention.
I like this music.
I wonder if our ghosts are here guiding us right now.
It's so cool, too, because you know actually what's happening. If you play 201, you know... Oh, that's so neat.
Classy as always.
I had a bug at the end of this that Sam got into the middle of the sleigh and then he popped over to the left. I'm like, you don't notice it, it's not a big deal. The snow in this with some new tech that we have going in the game for fake particles. They're not real particles, so don't think we have a particle engine. They're exported from Maya and reused. It was a good technical challenge for a very small effect.
And they were also used in the 201 trailer. I don't think they were actually in the game, but they were... We had snow, but didn't use it or something.
I think it was briefly in there.
Oh, it was. You're right.
This is Andy Wilanowski's shot. He was our lead animator, and this was his cutscene that he did via Maya Animations and the tool. Grant, when you designed this environment, did you design this environment, or was it Kim?
No, yeah, I did.
You did it? Did you also do the snow version of it to come up with how it would be?
Yeah. Well, that was done. We were gonna do that from the beginning. And she figured out how to get the actual model parts of it, not the matte painting part of it, looking right.
Very nice. And the matte painting part looks quite well too.
Better hurry up and restore the balance of power in hell, then.
A little help here, guys.
It's cool we got that working.
Yeah.
It's a nice little thing.
I know 3 princes of hell who've got a special surprise.
And this here is Jeff Saar's cutscene. Sa, as we like to say.
The Sa.
For us? Oh, you guys.
Did choreography as well as a lot of support from my animations.
Someone say...
That's a very nice
And
claim.
I guess this is another instance where Daniel did not do the mariachis. But it stood up to Daniel's quality.
Yes, I think so.
It's a very tough, difficult thing to do. I think Jeff worked on that fall into the pit like 3 or 4 different ways before they found one that he was really happy with. And it works really well.
Never say that again, Max.
And a lot of people love the kind of disturbance that Sam gets when somebody touches
his arm. Yeah.
Great interaction between characters.
Yeah.
Spirit, hell is safe.
The one other time someone touches him is when Harry Moleman gives him the frisk in 106.
Yeah.
He has the same kind of reaction.
He gets disturbed and
Well,
pushes him away.
yeah. But Harry Moleman kind of deserved it. He was a little,
Yeah,
getting a little close.
Touchy-feely, those security guards, they find someone they like.
Since you're going to be seeing so much of me later.
There's a great shot of
I didn't like the sound of that.
There's your milk and udders.
Yeah. Classic.
Gluttony.
That's Sam's ice cream cone from one of Steve's illustrations.
Nice.
Very nice.
I guess it's not an ice cream cone.
So,
Whatever.
And the
or
credit
a bar.
Yeah.
This credit sequence was put together by Daniel Herrera and Eric Parsons, who is a new hire for us at the time. He did a great job with a lot of these vignettes and a lot of these photos.
Are you with the brighter groom, sir?
Jake came in and did a fantastic overlay for kind of a grainy film effect, which, we pioneered in this, and I'm sure we'll be using a lot of later.
A lot of the stills were just kind of pet projects for various people around the company to learn the tool. So.
Right. And we just had people just going in and making some cool stuff and cool stills, just to learn how to use the tool, and then you got some neat stuff.
You have the ring? Oh shoot! I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
$100 says they don't last 3 months.
Some sea chimps, ocean chimps in the
yeah.
little Abe Lincoln head on top of the cake. I like how Jurgen's in the background for that, too. It's a happy, festive occasion for all the wonderful faces that you remember from all the episodes.
A bug!
Interesting. May I interest you in a new blackmail opportunity?
This is awesome.
That's so sweet. Thanks for coming.
What's with the...
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the dinner.
Little Leonard was a big thing for this sequence.
Yep. That looks so good. Poor guy.
Oh, he never wins.
You put your left foot in, you put your left foot out. Play Love Shack, baby.
Bye, kids. Have fun.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do. You think we can trust him with our car, Sam?
It's possessed by demons, Max. Can we trust the car? With them?
Season 3.
Not quite.
Oh, we got a little...
We have the epilogue, question mark.
Oh, we got the question mark. There it is.
This was my own little fun. I enjoy
Project.
picking on the peepers, or on the poppers, and particularly peepers. It was a big thing to have them die at the end of the episode, so fans could definitely be at peace with knowing that they wouldn't be included. Well, I don't know. We brought some people back to life. Oh, this is so good.
Oh, that's so brutal.
Oh.
Right there. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff.
I just felt that was so
the
appropriate.
good stuff.
All right. Thank you for watching this episode.
205. Thanks,
It's fun
guys.
tonight.
Bye.
Hope you guys enjoyed playing it.